What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is Saray Karen, and for today's video I am going to be unboxing the 2020 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip in it. Let's get to the video. Do you guys know that old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it? Well, my 2018 MacBook Pro did break, so I had to fix it. My computer had cracks on it, but the main issue that I was having with my 15-inch MacBook Pro was the sticky keys. This is a known issue with Apple. I went ahead and did the repair. I sent my computer off and I bought this guy. This in my hand is the 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch with the M1 chip. I'm going to get into the specs of this computer, but I want to say I am not hopping on the M1 bandwagon because I did get my 2018 MacBook Pro completely spec'd out. So I only got this MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, because I needed a computer to edit these videos and make videos while my computer was getting repaired. I went with, like I said, the 13-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. I got 512 gigs of solid state drive. I also got 16 gigs of RAM, and this is coming with the 2.0 gigahertz i5 processor. The biggest craze within the tech community on YouTube is the M1 chip, and for good reason. While using this computer, I did notice significant differences compared to my MacBook Pro from 2018. One of them being the way that the computer handled simple tasks, and that I would have to say is due to the M1 chip. So it's 2:43 and I just charged the battery to 100% on the MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. So let's check it out. I guess it won't show me my full percentage, but whatever, it's 100% right there. And I'm just, doing what I normally do. I also noticed with this M1 MacBook Pro that it handles Chrome a lot better than my 2018 16-inch MacBook Pro. Normally when I am watching Nick Merckx on stream throughout the day while I'm working from home, I get so much, like you hear the fans, but right now, you guys, no fans. Apple calls the technology behind the M1 chip unified architecture. And what that means is that it integrates different components that are basically separate in a normal computer all into one chip. Apple's first system on a chip integrates the CPU, GPU, and RAM, which makes this computer run a lot more efficiently and preserve a lot more power compared to Apple's previous Macs. Now, this particular computer that I have, it has 8 cores of CPU. 4 of them are high performance cores and 4 of them are high proficiency cores. The GPU is 3.5 times faster than the previous models, and the CPU is 6 times faster. And I can definitely feel that 2 times faster battery life that you get with these new model Macs. Now that I wrapped up all of the specs, I want to give you guys a quick rundown of my experience with this M1 MacBook Pro. All in all, I have to say that I did notice that, okay, this Mac is 2 times faster than the previous models, because as you guys saw, I play Nick Merckx all the time while I'm working from home, and on my 2018 MacBook Pro, I can hear the fan, I can hear everything running. I mean, it sounds like, I don't know, it's about to lift off and go to space. But with this M1 Mac, I didn't get any of those issues. I do run into issues running Chrome, as if you guys don't know, Chrome eats up a lot of your power on your Mac. So that's why you should use Safari, but I do use Chrome to stream Twitch. And on this new Mac, as you guys saw, I had no humming. My battery life was really, really good. And everything that I needed the Mac to do, it really did. it. I am going to show you guys a speed test in a quick second, but I do feel like this Mac has much better battery life compared to the others. Aside from the speed and the power change of this MacBook Pro compared to my previous model, another thing that I did notice was just the keyboard. I know it's something very simple, but the keyboard, I know that Apple redesigned the keyboard in these updated Macs, and I really love the feeling of this keyboard compared to my 2018 MacBook Pro. And the keyboard in this new computer is much more comfortable. The keys feel a lot more springy. Even after getting my computer repaired and sent back to me, I still prefer the keys on the 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro versus my previous model MacBook Pro. So it's just those little things like that. Overall, the design of this computer, it did not change. You still have the 2 USB-C ports, and you have your auxiliary jack on that side, and then you have these 2 USB Type-C ports on the computer. But other than that, this computer looks identical to my other one, and I really love it. I mean, would I keep it? Is the difference between the M1 chip that significant to sell my 2018 MacBook Pro and get this one? I mean, maybe the speed test will tell. If the speed test is significantly different, maybe I will hold on to this, but the sole reason that I even got this MacBook Pro was because my previous MacBook Pro broke, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video. But I don't know if I'm gonna hold on to it, but I have to say, if you guys are in the market for a new computer, I would definitely check out these MacBook Pros with the M1 chip. They do come in starting at $12.99, and then you can build your computer up from there. Just be mindful that you cannot change the RAM in these MacBook Pros. I don't know if you guys didn't know that, but yeah, the new MacBook Pros and even a few of the previous generations, you cannot update the RAM in it. With the speed test, you guys, all the apps are closed that I'm going to be opening for you. So we're going to open them on both computers. This is the 2020 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. This one over here is my 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro. So let's go ahead and open up Safari. So that was opening Safari on both computers, and that was just both of them closed. And you see, they both kind of opened up at the same time. I feel like the 2018 was a little bit faster, which is kind of weird. I don't know. And just to go over the specs of this computer really quick, this MacBook Pro is 2.6 gigahertz with 6-core Intel i7 processor, and then it has 32 gigs of RAM. This one, again, it is just a base model. I did get a little bit more RAM in this computer, but this one has 2 gigahertz quad-core Intel i5 processor, and then 16 gigs of RAM, but it also has that M1 chip. So I feel like the M1 computer is at a slight disadvantage, even though it has those 8 cores. This computer has 6 cores, but again, it is running an i7 versus an i5. Last app that I'm going to be opening, as I stated, is going to be Premiere. M1 opened up first. Let's see what timeline is going to pop up first. Everything seems okay. So the timeline was kind of simultaneous, but I feel like once I was signed in, the program opened up faster, but the timeline actually opened up faster on the older 2018 MacBook Pro i7 versus the 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch i5. There you have it. That is the 2020 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip in it. I showed you guys the specs. I went over the design. I went over a speed test, and I gave you guys a little look at me using the computer in my day-to-day. So I want you guys to know, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Will you be pulling the trigger on this M1 Mac? I know a new M1 MacBook Pro might get released, or at least hinted at WWDC coming up. So fingers crossed for that, but I don't think I will make this computer my daily driver, just because my computer is so specced out, as you guys did see. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you guys are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and please make sure you guys hit the like button and watch the video to the end, because we need the algorithm on our side. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.